welcome. If you don't know me, my name is Kayleen and I'm growing food in my backyard as best as I can and turning it into a food forest. Today we're going up to the alleyway to deal with a rogue Choko. It's only a rogue because it wouldn't grow for a few seasons, and then the day it decided to grow, it bolted up a neighbour's tree. And the neighbours got the Chokos, the possums got the Chokos, but I hardly got any. So we're going to put in a beautiful arbour up the alleyway, but I'll show you how I'm navigating around a gas meter and trying to manage some other plants that are in there using this arbour, and it'll look beautiful when it's finished. So thanks for joining me, and this is the Power Hour. And if you don't know about the Power Gardening Challenge, it is a challenge, a free challenge that anyone can join in with me. But I basically challenged myself to get out in the garden for an hour and do as much as I can. And it has motivated me to get a lot done, and some of the people that are following along too. So you're welcome to join us in the Power Hour Garden Challenge. And today we are going to do something really fun for that. This is the Choko vine as it is. It's just started to climb again the fence, and so I'm going to catch it before it reaches the tree. And the neighbours have a gate on the other side, so I don't want it climbing their gate. So I was pulling it off last year, or last season. It wasn't last year, it was this year, because it keeps coming up, but it has started to creep through the fence. Our fence is very old and lots of gaps, so it is starting to creep. So it's right at the end of this alleyway. So we've got a box there that we're going to undo. Now, we had a bit of a challenge here today because I think there was a swarm in the bottle brush above me. So there was bees everywhere and I was trying not to step on them. But I unpacked this box and pulled out the instructions, if you can call them that, and attempted to put it together. Now, I did a pretty good job, but I found that even though it wasn't listed on these drawings here, there's a couple of holes in the frame that was meant to hold a cross brace, I think originally, that they now don't supply, but there was still the holes left in there, which was a little bit disappointing because the weather can get into them, and as we know, these things don't last a long time anymore. But it still turned out to be a pretty nice arbour, and I was pretty happy with the end result. You'll see how lovely it looks in the end and how practical it will be for growing on and keeping things back. Okay, I'm getting a bit nervous. I've moved out of the shade. There's a little bit of shade under my hat, but those bees are all around me. It's just like working amongst a beehive. So I've moved back this way where the arch is actually going, but I think I'd rather work in the sun than have all these bees whizzing around and under my feet and on the ground, and they're everywhere. So the first thing I did to put it together is to put your roof together, and I later discovered an error because I thought the sides were equally spaced and they're not. So the way the sides went in, those sides there, they actually only go in one way. So you've got to watch it when you put it together that they're all the same way all across the arch. Once the frame was up, there was a net supplied that went over the top of it. Now, to put that on, I put it on the top and then draped it down. It was easier to drape it down once it was on the middle centre top. And you'll notice on the right hand side I've stopped it part way down, and I've deliberately done that because I've got pepinos growing all over the ground there that I wanted to support up. And this is where I had issues with stakes. I can't actually put stakes in the ground there. For one, it would be very hard to, but on the other side of that door is our gas meter, and the gas lines aren't that deep in, so I didn't want to hit a gas line. So I needed something that could be put up in that section that would act as support but not be staking too much into the ground. So this has legs that stake into the ground but not too deeply. And then on the left hand side of this, I will later support it with some star pickets to support it down to the ground so it doesn't blow away. It doesn't get a lot of wind being in a like in a alleyway, but still it needs extra support. So a little pause in the video. My chickens were going off like they'd laid an egg, and one can see me from up the backyard, and she's looking out. She's outside looking out and crowing like she's, or doing her cluck like she's laid an egg, trying to get my attention. I thought that's not normal, because they have different cries, but that was a I've laid an egg, I'm getting your attention, like hey mum. And they don't do that outside the pen. They do it as they're coming out, but they usually stop by the time they're out. And she's right out in the yard making that noise, trying to tell me. So I went and checked, and I thought I'd better check, and I better check the eggs, because we have had something eating one of the eggs. And my mum said to me just recently that, I think it was my cousin, it's got chickens, and they found that they had a snake. So I thought I'd better check just in case. Now the eggs were fine, but when I went into the pen, I'm looking around just to make sure inside their pen to see if there's anything. I thought it'd probably be just a bird, or you know, it could be a mouse or something maybe, I don't know, but I just thought it was unusual. And then sure enough, I look over, and there's a section between the chook pen wire and the fence that canna lilies are growing in. It's quite shaded, and then I saw a face, and this is what was there. Let's make sure it's a lizard. That's long if it's a lizard, but I'm pretty sure it is, but it looks very long. Oh yeah, good. That's a big blue tongue. Alright, that's huge. That would be about like 50 centimetres long. Are you who's been eating my eggs? I reckon that's who's been eating them. Trying to get away from me. Is that why I've been eating your eggs? Is that why you're carrying on? Go on. Alright, that's huge. He can eat the slugs and the snails, hey girls? But not your eggs, no. What do you think? It's not your eggs, hey? It's not your eggs. So I haven't seen our lizard friend since. The neighbour went and chopped all their grass down next door, so I think he's hibernating maybe further on. But yes, that did give me a bit of a scare. But look, come and have a look at the arbour just a few days on. It's only really not that long. And this was the last time I saw my hat. If you've seen the past two videos, I've been looking for my hat. And I think I may have worked out where it is, because I haven't seen it since that day I put this together. But come and have a look at the arbour and where it's at now. Now if you look here, the Choko is already well at home. Now I have to keep on top of this and keep threading this through. There's some bugs on here. Threading it through and making sure it's happy and it doesn't come too far in here. And it's looking really, really happy. It's filling this arbour out already. And the pepinos on the other side, I will need to keep on top of those too, because they're getting longer. And we've got some fruit on here. We've got little signs of things here. That looks like a caterpillar. Seeing little poo on the leaves here. But anyhow, they are happier. They're off the ground, so less likely to get eaten by mice if mice come along. Because for a long time I couldn't get to grow them because of the mice. So that's much, much better in here. It's contained. It looks pretty. I'm pretty happy with it. And Choko's my side of the fence. So now I'll just wait for the fruit. But thank you for joining me in this Power Hour Gardening Challenge. I hope you're getting some things happening in your garden out there. Let us know in the comments. And please, if you would, hype my video. That would be great to get a hype. A like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.